Hello, this is Salty323 and welcome to another Rome Total War video. Sorry if you can hear my fan. I'll get that problem fixed in a short while. This is a Rome Total War online battle. There are no rules to the game. My army consisted of 1 Arcani unit, 4 Arch Auxilia, 3 Praetorian Cavalry, gold, and the usual Legionary First Cohorts and Urbans, gold, and 1 Heavy Onager. His army consisted of a lot of chosen archers. Yeah, I know I'm not being specific. 2 Berserkers. And 4 Spear Warband and some chosen axemen. I'm not sure about upgrades. But yeah. I originally had 3 battering rams. However, once the Heavy Onager actually broke through the wall, I decided just to use that wall as my way in. What I should have done is actually make a gap here as well, so I would have 2 ways to go in, but unfortunately I didn't. And the reason why I'm not going on triple or double speed at the moment is fan reasons, and it makes it louder, so yeah. You may not be able to hear it anyway, but I can, and it's very annoying. But it won't be too long, hopefully, until I've got a fix to it. But oh well. So, yeah. As you can see, he was lining up here with chosen archers and spear warband, and I was just using my heavy onagers to take out the archers. One thing which I should have also done is had more archers and spread them out a bit more, but oh well. So yeah, basically the archer battle just lasts a long time, while archer plus onager battle. Yeah, so let's just have a look at his formation. As you can see, I am slowly but surely getting rid of the chosen archers, which was helpful. This is where I decide to aim for the spear warband, just to make my life easier when I go to attack. However, due to inconsistency and accuracy, it wasn't really working. As you can see, he managed to burn this battering ram, and my whole army, which could go into testudo formation, was in testudo formation. This is where I tell my archers to go in fire mode just to deal more damage, and it did actually do a lot of damage here, but as you just saw, one completely missed, which was unhelpful, and that did a lot of damage as well. Although what I should have actually done is aimed here, because of there's like 5 units there, chosen axemen and chosen archers, and if I miss, the spear warband gets killed. This is where he moves up his berserkers to attack. I believe he's gone for gold. Maybe, I could be wrong. This is basically where I tell my archers just to run. And I send my cavalry in to charge them as well, and send my urbans, no, actually Praetorians and urbans, I believe, to just fire at them with Pila. However, I didn't actually kill this unit, which was highly annoying. But, oh well. But I did do some damage, and because of it routed, it would probably help me later on. This is where he moves his spear warband to over here, so it's less separate from this bloodbath if I was actually aiming for it with my heavy onagers. My heavy onagers have still got some ammunition, but not a lot, to be honest, especially because I was focusing over here and not over here. When I eventually do focus over here, when he was moving his chosen archers over here, it didn't actually hit the units, it hit the gates, which was highly annoying. But, oh well, as per usual, things don't go according to plan at times. And that was why I aimed it. It was just a mess. It was an easy kill if my heavy onagers actually did what I wanted them to. And this is where I'm actually slowly moving up my urbans to kind of go in this gap and just stand there and throw Pila. And as you can see, I started to burn down a building, which is really annoying, especially when there's chosen axemen there. Yeah. As you can see, my archers are getting very depleted. I believe this was on large scale. I could be wrong. It could be even bigger, but I'm not sure. Or the one below. So, there, I'm still hitting here with my archers. This is actually where I tell them to, the onagers to aim here. As you can see, one missed and hit this building, which was also highly annoying. And as you can see, I'm slowly moving all of my units up. Well, all of my infantry units, anyway. Yeah, and another miss. I believe this is where I tell my units to go, my heavy onagers to go off fire mode just so it actually hits, and I'm not entirely sure what my archers were doing at this point in time, but they were basically committing suicide. And as you can see, I burnt down another building and destroyed the gate, as I had previously said that I did. I think what he was doing at this point in time was trying to bait my troops in, which I wasn't really falling for. Where are my actual cavalry? Yeah, my cavalry are all the way back here. I meant to just tell them to go here. So, let's have a look at what's happening at this point in time. I'm still using my onagers to actually fire at here. And my infantry are slowly but surely moving forwards to get in a line. And this is where my Arcani was actually getting shot from these chosen archers. As you can see, because he had more archers than I did, he runs out of ammunition slower, because if he sends all of his archers to fire at one unit, it goes down faster than if I said all of my archers to aim at one particular unit. This is where it was being a bit buggy. I was trying to actually form in testudo formation and just march straight in. It didn't work. As you can possibly see, that is just going like that in circles. I think at this here, I think it was actually going to do it, but then I told it to stop. And as you can see, things are slowly getting into place in front of the opening in the wall. And this is actually where he sends one of his spear band units to attack. I get these out of testudo formation just to put them back in. It may seem stupid, but what I was hoping for was that it would actually throw off a volley of Pila when I was not in testudo formation, but it didn't. So yeah, things didn't really go the way I wanted, and this is where I tell them to go through the gate again. Again, it didn't work, as you can possibly tell by just looking. So this is where I just tell them to get out of testudo formation because it just wasn't working, and throw Pila at the hoplite, well, the spear warband, which are in phalanx formation. And this is actually where my heavy onagers ran out of ammunition, I believe, and yes, they have. What would have actually been more useful is having another set of onagers, but the problem is that the heavy onagers actually cost a lot of money, especially because I upgraded them slightly to do more damage. These are still throwing Pila at the original unit. And this is where I tell them to charge in because they ran out of Pila. And as you can see, I was winning the little battle skirmish, but not skirmish here. This is actually where I just tell them just to charge in, which actually seemed to work because it was ripping a hole through the phalanx. But eventually what I did, I set another unit to actually throw Pila. However, it was aiming for this unit, not the unit which I particularly wanted it to aim. If it was aiming here, it would have been a lot more helpful. Although what I could have actually done is not just use them on auto fire, just tell them to attack it, and then after they've thrown their Pila and are about to charge, press backspace or halt so they would stop charging and then repeat. And as you can see, this unit is heavily depleted, and it even starts routing. One of the major problems though was that he still had a lot of chosen archers and they were just firing at my sides and killing me. And this is where one of my unit actually runs, which meant the other unit ran as well. I believe because of the fire from the archers, but I could be wrong. And that's actually where he sends his chosen axemen to actually attack from the flanks. I don't know what he was doing at this point in time, but he sent a unit of chosen axemen to attack me. My Arcani starts to rout as well. And this is where I get that unit out of Testudo formation and throw Pila at this particular unit. And I was thinking about doing it with the others, but I decided not to in the end. And actually, I start to send my cavalry in to assist my urbans and legionnaires. And also, while he was distracted over here, what I was planning to do was to do the same thing over here. So, to kind of, if I lose on this side will win. That's what I was hoping to do, but as you can see, he was reinforcing quite well, which was annoying. Although the enemy player, otherwise known as player, was actually quite good, which I don't mind actually losing or winning or drawing, as long as it was a good battle and exciting, and it was indeed exciting. And unfortunately, I didn't actually tell these units to charge it in, but as you can see here, there's just a big mess of units. Here, that's what I was kind of worried about. And why I wanted to actually attack them slowly. But, oh, well. And this is where it throws Pila again at the unit, which I didn't want it to. However, that unit was the one which destroyed me last time. And that's where that unit runs out of ammunition, and I tell them all to basically charge in, except for the Legionary First Cohort, because of morale reasons and stuff like that. I didn't want the standard bearer, well, the eagle, to die. And as you can see, he was actually winning at this point in time, which was highly annoying. And then it got into my control. But as he did last time, he charged in with his chosen axeman, which meant I was just being flanked, and I would have basically no hope in winning. So I tell my units to just run away. And as you can see, he brought units from here to help with this side, being as he could see that I was focusing on that side. And as you can see, he was basically making a circle, which was very annoying. So let's just have a look at what player is actually doing. He's still got his archers firing at my men and moving around archers as well. And he's still got his berserker units. Ooh, I actually dealt quite a lot of damage to it. I didn't realise I did that much though. And he's basically just sitting around waiting for me to attack, which is actually what is best to do. I tell these to attack again, but they were attacking rather slowly. And he's got a few units here. His general unit is just basically standing there, being safe so the general doesn't die and they lose morale. And he also has a few units which retreated from the front line. So let's just have a look. Yep, as you can see, I told my men to actually charge in. And the thing is, the main problem, I don't actually know why I sent my cavalry to charge in. Oh yeah, I remember now. What I was hoping for was for them to actually attack here. I put them in wedge formation, and I was hoping they would actually make a gap through here, meaning my legionnaires would actually have an easier job, or or I asked them, well, wanted them to attack through here so they could actually surround them or actually hit the archers of these units. As you can see, this is where I tell them to actually charge in to attack this unit. And as you can see from looking, that he was actually focused on this side of the battle a lot more, which is understandable because I had a lot more troops. And as you can see, my cavalry were getting through. This is actually where he sends his berserkers in, and they berserk as they do. And the unfortunate thing is I had some units which were trapped here and couldn't escape. And let's have a look at this battle. I put these on guard mode, which I probably should have actually taken them off guard mode so they would actually go and attack, which I believe I do a bit later. As you can see, I basically sent everyone to kill the berserkers. The main problem is that the majority of the berserkers are actually on that side of the phalanx, which unfortunately meant my cavalry were just charging into spikes, which basically doomed them. And the problem with me actually going through this gate to attack was, as you can see, that if he actually sends this unit to attack, these units can't retreat without running forwards and being impaled on the spears. Let's have a look at the other side of the battle. This is where his berserkers actually do charge in and destroy the majority of my legionnaires. This is why I dislike berserkers. And as you can see, I sent my general unit in just to inspire my units not to run away. And as you can see, I have surrounded them. I do the ult attack with my cavalry as well to make it easier to destroy them. And 11 men left and 10. So yeah, it was fairly even, but one unit did actually go down before the other. Which, as you can see, I used a lot of resources over here just to take out one unit. And as you can see, he sees this and attacks with his chosen axeman. I decide to run away as fast as possible and then to charge in with the cavalry. However, he notices and I charge into spears yet again. Let's have a look at this side of the battle. As you can see, some of my units actually got round to flank, which was very deadly towards the spear warband because it means that the phalanx was going to get destroyed either way until he actually sends units to assist. Which, as you can see by just looking, these units were just heavily depleted. This is at full, and this is what my units actually got to. That actually isn't full. Let's have a look at this. 126. I believe it was at 180 to begin with, and as you can see, I still had some archers which were firing, which was very helpful. And the problem is, because I lost this side of the battle, it means that these weren't a distraction anymore. This is where he starts to just fire upon my cavalry just to do as much damage and annoy me as much as possible. And this is where I actually send my peeler to attack. Well, auto fire. And the chosen axemen, which actually were the deadliest ones which I was actually facing. And as you can see, this unit was getting very depleted, which made me very happy indeed. And these archers are still firing. I can't believe they've actually still got ammo. And this is where he realizes that he's losing troops quickly, and I'm not losing them as fast as he is. And as you can see, this unit was basically destroyed. However, this is what I was dreading. He sends his chosen axemen to attack, which is understandable because of I was working my way through slowly but surely and winning. However, with the additional troops, it meant the Spear Warband could actually do something and not die. And as you can see, he also sends units here. I was a bit preoccupied to actually tell them to retreat. And however, what I do actually do is I tell them to charge and attack here, which was very helpful because it was basically the same thing which happened over there. Just distract him at one side, meaning it would be easier to attack here, which was very helpful. However, he actually notices it this time and tells both sides of his army, well, both halves of his army, to attack, and this is where I actually tell them to just retreat. Well, those two units from helping, and then I tell them to charge in yet again. And as you can see, the problem is, because of this is a siege, it made it harder for me to actually work my way through, because I had a lot of troops going through a very small gap, which was highly annoying. However, I was winning here. Which was actually very helpful. Especially because there's about 4 units there, and once I actually managed to break through, it means that I could go after these archers and these and work my way through to flank. This is where he actually, I believe, takes off guard mode and just charges my units, but then realizes that he can attack here, which is actually where I was winning. So yeah, the player does realize that where I was winning at certain points in time, so he went to counter it by reinforcing his dying, depleted units, which is actually very clever and very annoying for me. Particularly, this is actually when I just go like, I need to distract him as much as possible over here. I don't care if I lose a unit or two. just as long as I win here, because as you can see, there's hardly any units here. And I've got a lot of units here. And actually here I was kind of doing a hit and run tactic, hoping that this would happen, that he goes out of his town to attack me. However, he realizes it and tells him to retreat back into the town, which was highly annoying. And this is where he reinforces over here, meaning the balance in power was not even, and it was basically the Germans who would win, which was very, very annoying. I believe, yeah, I decide it's a waste of time just having units here just to die, and I forgot to put myself offline. Oh, well. So this is actually where I send everyone in. I just go, I need to break through the enemy line. It's the only way I can actually win. And because of he was actually worried about me sending like a unit through the gate to attack these units, if he went to assist here, he didn't take a lot of units away from there, which actually made it a lot easier for me eventually. As you can see, because of the cavalry, it meant it was just a driving force, and it was just a matter of time. Yes, I know that doing Control A and charging in isn't the best idea, especially as you can see, victory seems certain. Only a fool could lose this battle. So yeah, I was losing this. However, at this point in time, I was just, well, going by the stat over here, it's going to be I'm going to lose anyway, so I might as well go out with a last hurrah. And slowly but surely, because of they were off guard mode, I was working my way through, and this made me so happy that his general actually died. And this is actually where I tell all of my units to just charge at this unit, because it meant off guard mode, because it meant they would actually rip a hole right through. As you can see right here, my cavalry was just going through. Some were dying, yes, and that meant my urbans could actually attack them quite easily. I also send my heavy Onager unit to help as well. And this is where my cavalry was just doing some stupid things, which was highly annoying. And this is actually where I basically sent everyone in to here. And this unit I was actually going to use to kind of destroy some of the units and then eventually flank round. And I was so happy that this unit was off phalanx formation, meaning I could easily destroy it. And as you can see, I actually send my cavalry in, and that's where he goes into phalanx formation, which basically meant that the chosen axeman was just on its own, isolated from the spearmen. Yes, one of my units of cavalry does run away like cowards. And this is actually where things were looking up for my battle, Because yes, I had lost a ton of men here, but all of these units have routed or are very depleted, and I could use my men to an advantage, which was very helpful. And I still had some cavalry to do charges, although they were eventually dying slowly but surely, and victory seems a distinct possibility, which was very helpful. However, some units were still very healthy for him, and my units weren't. I only had about 5 units left at this stage. Ooh, 6, but the 6th is 8 men of archers. And some routing units, like that urban cohort. And this is where he sends his archers to attack. And one unit of mine starts routing, which was highly annoying. And this is where I think of a great idea. And yes, one of the chosen archers were running, meaning I could easily flank the spear warband. And this is actually where I tell my heavy onager units to kind of flank and attack, although he moves to take them on, but with only 3 men I was bound to win this little battle. And then I just go, it's routing, I won't actually use the heavy onagers to attack, I'll use them as skirmisher units. And this is where basically that whole spear warband unit just got decimated. They were very depleted, however my units were very depleted. And at this point in time, according to the stats of the game, I would have won. Well, I would win. Victory seems a very certain occurrence, or whatever it actually is. Victory seems certain. Only a fool could lose this battle. That's basically what it said. Almost but it said something like that. And as you can see, it's getting close to the end of the battle. However, all of my units were here, getting archers firing at them, and that's actually where I just tell them to run straight through. Just charge. I don't care if your friends die, but as long as you win, just charge. So they do that, and as you can see, slowly but surely I was making my way through to the town center, or plaza. And yeah, my heavy onagers, which actually won me a few of those little small battles, skirmishes, fights, whatever, were very heavily depleted. However, I still had some urban cohorts, but very heavily depleted. And as you can see, he had a lot of units. The main problem is that my heavy onager units got here first, and he basically just told everyone to charge in. And that's where my heavy onagers start running. And this is where I was attacking his men with my urban cohorts. Well, the remainder of urban cohorts. You may be wondering where my cavalry was. Well, my 3 horsemen, or 2. They were here going for a flanking maneuver. So let's see what happens to them. That it couldn't do a flanking maneuver because it was the army was running, and
Your general has thrown away his life.
yeah,
Now he feeds the carrion birds. His men may soon be bird food too.
my general dies, meaning that there was absolutely no hope in my units actually returning and manning up and not being cowards. I still had one unit though. Archers.
Our
8
enemies
men.
have won this battle.
However, they start running as soon as they see their allied units running. So yes, it was kind of a mix of events of who was winning and who was losing. And as you can see, I was heavily outnumbered. The battle actually seemed to be which army would win, a inexperienced but of a greater multitude army, or a very experienced army but less troops or less multitude. And as you can see, my units, I lost a lot of men. However, because of just looking at the numbers, I lost 2,300. He lost 3,200. And the men remaining there are like injuries, casualties and stuff like that, which got healed, which you don't actually get shown or given at the end of a battle. But oh well. And as you can see, I killed a greater percentage than he killed of my units, but that's all I can get. I can't get anything else out of it. And this is Salty323, and I'll see you next time at some point in the future. And sorry if you could hear my fan, but you'll have to put up with it for a bit. Yeah. Basically until I actually get the new computer or it stops making noise. But oh well. And you're probably wanting to see the battle stats. And this is the battle stats. As you can see, there's no casualties healed because I lost. So yeah. As you can see, I did actually upgrade my archers to as much as experience as possible, just to make them better. Ooh, it was actually Lemon, which I was fighting at, but oh well, and I'll see you next time.